comedian because I was always able to make people laugh. And literally, that's where it came from. And Golden Girls. 100% Golden Girls. The sarcasm in my... that was the most sarcastic show I ever think. I think we talked about this in episodes way long ago.
You'll see it.
Yeah.
Tune in.
Yep. If you made it to this part and I'm talking about it now, you'll remember.
You'll know what we're talking
a few
about.
episodes back when I was talking about Golden Girls being one of my all-time favorite shows because it was just a half an hour of sarcasm every week.
Oh yeah.
That was back in the day when you had to wait till the next one to see the next episode. You had to wait a whole week to do it, and if you missed it, you missed it. You just never got to see it again.
Exactly.
Until fucking YouTube came out, until like internet.
No, until
reruns.
The VHS cassette.
Oh, you could buy the series. Yeah.
Series and watch.
You could buy the series. Yeah. All of that shit. Like back in those days, you missed a show, and that's it. You just missed it. You never got to see it again.
No.
Until the reruns came 2 years later or something.
Exactly.
And then you had to get that one because if you missed it then too, shit out of luck. You just missed a show and you missed a show. These kids won't ever know these problems.
I know. It's like click the whole series.
Yep. And then they want to see some. Oh, remember that episode? And they go back and watch it again. And they go back and watch it again. They go back and watch Justice League for the 17th time this week.
Always.
This week.
Once a week.
But you know what I mean? Like back in those days, you missed something and you just missed it. That was it. If I was trying to watch,
unless you had a VCR and you taped it.
But I wasn't allowed to tape everything, man. My mom used all the tapes to tape Young and the Restless. And I wasn't allowed to tape anything on the tapes that had Young and the Restless on it.
Interesting. Me, it was Kent Copeland
and
Jimmy Swaggart.
Yeah, until I got to a certain age and I could buy my own. Then I wasn't allowed to use any of the tapes in the house because my mom taped all of her stuff on it.
Of course.
Which, for a while, that was actually great to go back. Because I remember my mom kept these videotapes forever. And one day, like before we threw the VCR out, before she threw her VCR out, or somebody was throwing a VCR out, I remember finding the box of tapes and like just watching them one more time before we put it. And I fast forwarded through the Young and the Restless, which I used to watch Young and the Restless, by the way.
Shout out to Victor Newman.
Victor Newman, buddy. I always like to walk to the corner and just pour a drink and stare off into the corner.
It's like hope.
Yep. And then speak to somebody while I'm facing the other way, looking into the imaginary camera that I imagined there. Just like I was Victor Newman.
What's your favorite Victor Newman scene?
Everybody knows mine.
I know.
Well, I'm assuming it's your favorite Victor Newman scene because we talked about this.
It is.
It was one day, Victor Newman's son, Nick. Now, I'm going to let you know how much knowledge I have about the show now. His son was named Nick, because remember his wife was named Nikki.
Yep.
So his son was named Nick and his daughter Victoria after him. So anyhow, Nick was in some kind of trouble, and I think he was in some kind of legal trouble, or they were arresting him or doing something like that. And there was some crucial evidence that they had to get into an apartment to get. So Victor Newman shows up with, I don't know who he showed up there with. He showed up with somebody, and was like, I need to get into that apartment to get the evidence or whatever, because my son, blah, blah, blah. And the guy was like, I can't let you in, and he's like, what do you mean you can't let me in? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, only the owner can get in. So he goes, okay. And he walked over to a phone, because they didn't have cell phone. He called. He made this phone call. You know the scene I'm talking about, don't you? Made this phone call. And he comes back, goes for commercial. And then comes back, hangs up the phone, he walks back, and he goes, okay, open the door. I just bought the building. Boom! Victor Newman. Instantly my idol. That was the greatest scene in my life. I wanted to be that guy so bad. And as you can see, it didn't quite work out. But
we're close.
But still, he was my fucking idol, man. That was a wicked scene.
Yeah. I don't remember anything else but that scene.
I remember everything.
No.
But I was going through those videotapes. And you know what was fun about going through the videotapes? I'd forward through the actual soap opera. And I'd watch all the commercials. I watched some old school commercials before I threw that shit out, man. And it was all these daytime soap commercials and stuff because my mom was taping it middle of the day, or 4. I can't remember. It came on around 3:30 or 4. Young and the Restless after school.
3:30.
Yeah, after school is when
yes.
Thing came on. So then it was just at the cusp where they would put some commercials in that would you know, because they start to gear the commercials back to all the kids that are coming home from school.
Yeah.
And it was just fun to watch the commercials. It's like there's some old school shit. There's some funny ones like the Brick. I remember one with the Brick. For those who don't know, the Brick, I don't know if they have it in anywhere else other than Canada, but it's a furniture store. And they used to put up some funny ass commercials, and there was this commercial where this guy, where they did sayings. So they said, "Don't cry over spilt milk," and then they clipped to a guy with his milk spilled on the table, and he's just and he's crying. And then it would be like, "You can't be in two places at once." And then you hear somebody knocking at the door, and then the bathroom door opens, and they clearly see a guy sitting on the toilet, or the phone's ringing.
Yeah.
And the door opens, and he looks, and because back in those days you couldn't bring your phone into the fucking toilet. The phone was attached to the wall, right?
You could if you have one of those cords. With like.
Yeah, but who had that? Who brought the fucking phone? In those days, nobody thought about that shit. Now I shit with my phone all the time.
This guy.
Oh, this guy. This guy was ahead of his time.
Had a long ass cord.
Yeah.
And bring it to the washroom.
But yo, those commercials, that commercial, I remember seeing it. I gotta find that fucking commercial. And maybe if I can find it, I'll post it on the Jay and Dave Instagram page. Jay and Dave 22. At Jay and Dave 22. Come follow us on Instagram.
That's right.
And if I can find it, I'll post it because we're gonna start posting all the pictures of the toys and everything. And I don't know, anything we talk about here that we reference that I can find, I'll post it there too. You have to remind me though because I forget a lot. Yeah, so
it'll be there eventually.
It'll be there. It'll get there eventually.
Yeah.